Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Catchup, and today we're with Neisha Thompson. How are you doing?
Good.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about today. You're gonna get us caught up from when you graduated from high school up to how you got here. You're living in New York?
Yes.
And how till you come to New York. 30-second high level from graduation to now.
Right. So obviously I went to Petersfield. I left Petersfield and I went to Miramar High School. So I graduated from Miramar in Florida.
Yes.
Right. So after Miramar, I went to Iowa Wesleyan College for track. From Iowa, I went to McKendree. And so I met up with some of the girls here, Keisha Harvey, Karine Harvey. We went to McKendree together. And life happened and we all end up in the tri-state area.
Yes.
And so it's just a natural process. But we went to school. I knew them from Manning. Then we came up here and we've been together ever since.
Okay, you couldn't tell me, so you're not going to Manning's,
Huh? I was like, listen, at the time I was not bright enough to go to Manning's.
Oh, please. Oh, please.
Huh?
Don't do that. So you're here. Are you married? Any kids?
No, not married yet. No kids
Yet?
yet.
Okay.
Gray hair. No.
Well, tell us, what is your job? What do you do?
All right, so right now I'm teaching at Capital Prep in Connecticut.
You're teaching in the U.S.?
Yes.
Moment of silence. And let's pray for her, Lord.
We do need that moment of silence. I realize this year it's very difficult.
It is very difficult.
It takes a special kind of people to teach. So, yeah.
And drugs.
Antidepressant.
Antidepressant. So what do you do for fun? What are your hobbies?
All right, so for fun. Oh, wow, that's a good question. I like going to the movies and I like bowling. I do read a lot now. So I'm more in a not to say reclusive, but I'm more at peace with myself. So I do spend some time reading. I go on hikes, right? And I'm picking up I want to buy a bicycle this year. So to go biking and camping and all that kind of stuff. So.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about back in high school days. And who was your favorite teacher, favorite subject, and favorite memories? So let's talk about favorite teacher. Who was your favorite teacher?
So I would say Stephen Smith at Petersfield.
Yes.
He was my track coach, also my mentor when I was going through school.
Yes.
And we've kept in contact all these years. So I would have to say Steve because he really helped to shape me as an athlete. And at that time, athletics was my main concern. So
yes.
Stephen had a real big impact in my life. Academic subjects, anything that has to do with critical thinking. I've always been that kind of person. If I have to read about it and write about it, as long as I'm thinking about it, I'm more analytical.
Favorite memories from high school?
Wow. Favorite memories from high school. Since I went to high school, I got to give you two memories. Obviously, going to Manning's training, I think one of my favorite memories is that my first year going to Champs, and I was the only girl from Petersfield going. So you going in a bus, Manning school bus. I'm the only outsider, and they really made me feel at home. And
yes.
Mr. Doggett, I remember sitting beside him, and just he took me in as one of the girls.
Yes.
And that's why I'm still a part of the Manning school clique.
And you've been here since day one?
Since day one, yes.
Every time. And
Every
heavily
time.
involved. I think you have a staff badge. Look here. Big people get staff badge. Big people get staff badge.
School
Where's my staff badge? Anyways, that's a different story. Because, people might be wondering, say, you went to Petersfield, so how comes I'm interviewing you? You have been such a integral part of this thing that I just had to get you on this thing.
Yeah, so, you know what? We started out together. I think that all my friends go to Manning's. All my friends. So it's hard not to be a part. I'm not an you're my youth. But as I said, that first time, going on the bus, Mr. Doggett made sure he emphasized that I was a part of the team.
Yes.
I did not feel left out. I've never felt left out being a part of the Manning School crew, going there, training. So a lot of people don't know that I did not go to Manning.
I didn't think. I almost argued with somebody saying, yeah, she's going to Manning. Anyways, that's another story. But you represent what MSLU is all about, right? It's not about going to Manning School.
No, it's about linking up and really connecting back with people, because sometimes you're here, you're living in America, and I see it happening in Jamaica now, that you can feel lonely and isolated, right? And there's so many people that is around. There's people that you can call, and sometimes you go through stuff and you really need someone to talk to, and our mind would make us feel like we're alone.
Yes.
But it takes an effort like this to say that you're not alone. Come together, come out, link up. Let's get to know each other all over again.
Awesome. So when you look back at high school, what was something that you believed about yourself that now you look back and you're like, nah, that was total bullshit?
So you know what? Wow. I think that when you're in high school, you feel like you're untouchable, right? That the sky is the limit and there is nothing. And if you don't shape that and if you don't keep that going, you realize that life is not what it cuts out to be. It is hard, it is difficult, it is challenging. And when you're in high school, when you're younger, you see this straight road that, you know, you're untouchable, that, you know, you have this perfected image of yourself. And as you grow up, you realize it is bullshit. You're not perfect. You're gonna fall, you're gonna fail, and it's just how you live life. It's how you go through those ruts that define who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what have you learned from going through failure, and how do you get yourself back up out of that, man?
So I think that like 20 years ago, I read this book, right? The Pathway to Love, and it really started to shape the way how I think about failure, how I think about life, right? So one of the things is that I'm not attached to anything. So there's no attachment, right? So I try to live a detached life. So in the moment I'm here, I enjoy myself. But if next year I don't come, I'm not going to be depressed.
Okay.
Or I have my house, but if I lose my house, I'm not attached to it that I would be depressed, right? So I think that is the way to live your life. Enjoy everything in the moment, but don't be attached to anything.
To the thing.
Yeah.
So your personality, how would you describe your personality back in high school? What words come to mind when you describe it?
I think I've always been a jovial person.
Yeah.
I still think that I'm jovial. I find that when I try to be more serious and take myself a little bit more serious than my personality will allow me to,
yes,
that it's very difficult to navigate because that's not who I am, right? So I think like I flow easier when I'm going through life with a more, I'm focused, but I'm just flowing, right? It's like a river. I think sometimes I try to be a rock when I'm a river, right?
Interesting.
So a river will go wherever the path take them. And
go around the object too and find its way through crevices. Oh my,
yeah,
that's awesome.
That's what I think. I was in the army for 15 years, and yeah, we adapt. You adapt.
Repeat what you just said?
I was in the army, the U.S. Army, Go Army, for 15 years, and we adapt and overcome.
Yo, moments like this make me say that I am so glad I'm doing this project.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yep.
Oh goodness. What advice would you give to your younger self?
Accept failure. I think now that I'm turning 40 this year, I'm so grateful for that. Is that set audacious goals. Set goals that when you think about it, it makes you cry, it makes you weak, right? And you know that the only way that you can attain it is with God.
Yes.
Right? Set audacious goals. It keeps you alive.
Yes.
Right? I think when I'm being mediocre, that I feel myself dying inside. So like when I went for my master's degree, I felt like, you know, I could not do it, and then just keep on coming back to that you can do it and not thinking that you can. But finally going through the process, it makes me so much stronger, and you know, you become so much more. You grow, you expand, and life is meant for you to grow and expand. So if I could go back to my younger self, I would tell him, set these like mind-blowing goals
that make your knees shake.
Yeah. And that everyone will tell you you're not, you can't do it, that you don't have the capacity. Those are the kind of goals you need to set.
What are you most proud of?
My life. I don't want to take like a moment and say this is a proud moment. I think when I graduated with my master's, it was like a highlight in my life, because so many people told me I could not do it. I remember when I was in primary school, a lady told me that I would never be anything. And so that pushes me to go for academic excellence. So when I graduated with my master's, like that was the first thing that came back to my mind, that she told me that I could not do anything as a child. And we don't realize that what we say to kids as a child grow up with us, and it can be either the factor that propels us to greatness or the thing that keeps us back, right? Everything happened for a purpose. You know, I would tell myself that. And the last thing that I would really emphasize to tell my younger self is that whatever happened, accept it. You don't have to agree with it, but accept what you're going through in that moment, without agreeing without it, without being neutral. Anything that happens to you, be neutral and seek the path that you want to go. Don't let what happened to you detect or depict where you go.
Yes.
But be neutral about what happened to you, and then you decide where you want to go.
Is there a challenging season that you could share with us? Walk us through one of your most challenging seasons and what you learned about yourself.
All right, so I think I just went through it. After graduating with my master's, you know, you're on a high. You just finished years and years of studying. You're on a high, and you go and you take a job and you don't perform to where you know you can perform. And it has a combination of, you may be going through stuff emotionally, you may be going through stuff physically. It may be a combination of stuff that you're going through that affect the way how you think, and the way how you think affect the way how you perform. I think I just went through that I went through some depression, just have this expectation of what it was going to be like, and going into it and realizing that it was so much more challenging than I expected. I was not prepared for it emotionally nor mentally.
Yes.
And so I got thrown off my game for like a year, even though I knew the skills to get through it, right? I literally had to go through failing and just totally coming below.
Yeah.
You know, and now that I've come through that, and now that I've done the work, I realize that it happened for a purpose, and I love it that I failed this year.
Yes.
Because I see the areas in my life that I needed to work on.
Okay.
So it's not the job that made me fail. There were areas in my life that I needed to work on. So yeah, you go through so many things and you do fail. You really do fail, and you need to embrace your failures. Don't shun them. Don't shun the feeling that comes with failure. You need to really take it in and let that feeling of failure sink in and let it go through all your body. Don't push it away. Don't dismiss it.
Or ignore it.
Right?
Not deal with it then.
Right. Or compensate for it in a different way. Because a lot of people compensate for failure by overeating, over drinking, over drugging, whatever the case be, overworking, right? And so I think that when you sit in that moment and understand that I have failed, where do I go from here? It's a better process of getting through your struggles than trying to dismiss it or try to put it off on somebody else or something else.
Understood. So we have 2 more questions left. What does success mean to you?
Peace. Contentment.
Yes.
Yes. I don't think I've made a lot of money in my life. I've gone down to I lost a lot of money in my life. And I think being Jamaican, whether I am chicken back or I eat steer, if you don't have peace,
yes,
it tastes bad either way, right? So I enjoy both. I enjoy eating chicken back.
I
enjoy
that.
Eating steak.
I'm so stealing that. So when you die,
Yeah.
what do you want people to remember about Neisha?
Man,
That's the last one I heard.
That's the last one. I think the way how I made them feel. I think that's what it is. I think that when I die and when if you guys, Link Up is still going on, people will say, you know what, Neisha always made me laugh, and she was someone I could come to. So I want to be a positive influence, or just a positive energy in somebody's life. Because if you don't know somebody, right, that person can have a positive impact on you just by who they are. And that's what I want when I die. I'm going to spend all my money. I'm not leaving anything for anybody, so they don't have to look as far as material things. I don't think it's about material things. I think we spend so much time acquiring stuff and we don't really enjoy it, right? So I want to enjoy the people who I'm around, and I want the people who I'm around to enjoy who I am.
Awesome. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
Thank you for participating in the project, man.
I really appreciate it. And everybody out there,
participate.
I think you should sit down and have this conversation.
Absolutely. Thank you for that.
Not a problem. Have a good one.
So this ends our episode. Look here, she's ready to go, man. This ends our episode. She's gonna go because she wanna catch your food and the jerk chicken behind me.
The
what?
The goat soup just
finished. The goat soup just finished. All right, so we'll wrap up this episode. Please like the video, subscribe to our channel. Peace out, my guy.